Morning, my people. What's up, world? It is Thursday, August 28th, and I want to Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because with him all things is possible. Top of the morning to all my kings and queens, everybody out there on the streets, going to work, going to school, traveling, wherever it is that you're coming from, wherever you're going, arrive there safe. Everybody. All the kids going to summer school, going where y'all gotta go, man. Go ahead and get to where you gotta go, man. Please arrive there safe. I hope everybody's feeling blessed, appreciate it, thankful for seeing another day, and knowing with him all things is possible. Happy Thursday, y'all. I thought I was going live this whole time, and I wasn't even live. I don't know what was going on here. I just realized I was doing something wrong, but we on here now, it's all good. But what up, y'all? What's up, family? I hope everybody's feeling appreciated and thankful for seeing another day and knowing all things is possible. We got some back boxing talk. We always like to get into that. Today is going to be real interesting. Why is it going to be real interesting today? Because the throwback talk is going to be no other. Barkley versus Roberto Duran, right? And then we come back later on today at 6:05 with Michael Nunn versus James Toney. Why are we not talking about what's going on today, boxing? Because it ain't nothing to talk about. I'd rather do this. We'll get into that. So let's pretty much get this started. For my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Doug Zone podcast. Let's go. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell his friend and to tell that. It's one of the best places to be in the morning, man. No morning chop today, but we're going to chop it up about this classic fight, man. This was classic. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Even if you don't subscribe, hit the like button for me. I appreciate y'all. I'm at 643 with the subscribers, man. Help me get to 700, y'all. Or 650 at least, y'all, and I would appreciate that. So I'm sitting around yesterday, and I'm thinking, okay, for a throwback fight, who do I talk about? Because I come up with a lot of different fights. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is Roberto Duran and Barkley. Josh Sanders, I see you. Jeff Spark, I see you. Smash the like button on my good people. D Free, I see you. D Free, I sent you the link, man. I don't expect your DM. I think it's the second link I might have sent you. It's different because I'm on StreamYard. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, after doing that, I'm like, that's a good one. That was a classic, and we're going to get into that one. So I'm thinking of another one to come back with this afternoon. Wow, okay. Michael Nunn, first of all, they were two middleweight fights. That's crazy, right? Since we got a middleweight showdown. So we got I did Michael Nunn versus James Toney, which to me that was a class. D Free, man. This will be the first time me and you are doing this like this. You know what's so crazy, D Free? Before I get into the fight, StreamYard is not bad, but I probably wouldn't be wasting my time like that with StreamYard if I would just win at this.
What's this?
No, we on regular YouTube. Do you know you could do an invite on that too? Like, I'm not on StreamYard. I'm not on none of that.
No, I didn't know that.
Man, bro, I just told them that. I was like, I didn't know either. either. And I'm like, I thought you had to be on some type of. I'm for all this, man, because my time that ran out with StreamYard. I said, all right, cool. You know how that. I said, I'll be doing it. I'll just do it through this way. No problem. This is my Stormy B, man. I see you. So anyway, I'm thinking of something, and I was like, okay, these are two classic middleweight fights since middleweight showdown coming up. Roberto Duran and Ron Barkley. Um, Watched it last night because I never really got to glance at it. Well, let me not glance at it. I never got to really sit down and go through. I got to see bits and pieces of it. But I finally watched it last. Um, a classic, a masterful. Um, Give me your thoughts on it, Free, before I jump on it. Ron Barkley versus Roberto Duran. If you ever got that, which I'm sure, what was your thoughts on that?
Uh, I think it was a trash fight. I ain't like neither one of those fighters.
This,
Nah,
this, this, this is why me and you go through what we do.
no, that was
Fucking this. Oh, you
no.
playing Cali too much, dude. Yeah,
And did do what he normally does. And then you saw Aaron Barkley having to face hands of stone and try to maneuver his way around that fight. And but it was a good fight. Um, I think I think we need more fights similar to that, where you have two guys who's considered um, great fighters in their own right, and they step in the ring and lay it all on the line.
yeah. So at the time, if you ask me, he was at the end of his career, but he pretty much was probably at the end of his career. Roberto Duran being 37 years old and Aaron Barkley still being in his prime, which was old. Usually when you see stuff like that, you go, okay, um, it's the young
Ooh,
lion, but the old lion did pretty damn good in there. Didn't do bad. And neither did Aaron. As I'm going, and I'm like, it was so hard for me. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I was dozing off a little bit, not because the fight was boring, because I was tired. I had a long day yesterday, but as I'm watching it, it was almost a toe for toe, blow for blow. I think it was the eighth round, the seventh or eighth round. Aaron, excuse me, Roberto catches him with a clean shot. Almost thought he stopped him for a minute because he hurt him. You not only hurt him to the head, but hurt.
right.
But it was the same thing, vice versa, with Aaron hurting Duran. And I'm like, how much longer can Duran, stay in here? Because we are expecting Barkley, being that he is the younger fighter, to go in there and be doing. This is why I'm always careful about, saying, or we should be careful about saying what a fighter should be able to go in there and do. Because a guy is older, you should be able to go in there and get him out. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter about the age. It's about the condition. Um, Kind of like with the third Fedora. Everybody's gonna think, yeah, because Fedora, a guy, he's younger, he should win. It might not necessarily go like that. Keith Tucker, we don't know that. But far as this one, um, there probably wasn't one round. The only thing that bothered me probably was the scores. Um, I don't know. I felt like they was playing with the microphone. All of a sudden, off of microphone had a problem. They took all day. I think they was just taking their time. do the scorecards. Because to me, free that was some bullshit, and I don't think they gave Aaron enough credit in that fight. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But other than that, every round was a classic. It was classic. They back and forth, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And I thought at one point when Aaron was getting his eye closed and shut up, and it was bruised. I'm like, damn. I said, Aaron, it's gonna get to a point you're not gonna get out that eye if this continues. Which if you look at Roberto, you look at his face. I mean, I know all that doesn't matter. When you look at his face fight, and you look at like he looks like the older guy. But it was a classic between both of them, and I enjoyed it. And it was a great middleweight man fight, and this is what fights like you look like. And I'm not saying fights like that don't happen today. Um, you get them every often. We might not get them as much as we want. Um, and we're hoping the showdown. We're hoping the showdown
I think you,
September 13th.
I,
Is
I think you're getting a similar showdown with Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. I think that's a similar showdown. Devin Haney is the more experienced guy, been on the championship level for several years now, and Brian Norman is the upcoming young star,
yeah,
making a name for himself. I think that's a similar. I mean, it's not quite the same level because Devin Haney is not that old, but he's a guy that fought on the championship level much longer than Brian Norman. I mean, truthfully speaking, Brian Norman hasn't really fought on the championship level quite yet. I mean, yeah, he is a champion, but he hasn't fought other former champions or current champions. So he was awarded his title due to the fact that the other champion had moved out of the division. Um, like I said, he's still a young fighter that's making his way, and he is a champion. And you got Devin Haney, like I said, who several years now. So we have a um,
you breaking up, be free. He was breaking up a little bit, probably because you're moving around. But I heard what you were saying though. We always doing the comparison between then and now. And we all understand that
Hmm.
every ever some of these fighters are not like back then when me and you were coming up. Give me a fight that you might see. You just gave me one, but give me another fight that you see coming up that could relate to Aaron Barkley and Roberto Duran.
Aaron Barkley and Roberto Duran. Um, hey, let's talk about it. If the rumors are true and this fight does get made, Earl Spence and Jermell Charlo.
You better watch him. You better watch your mouth, Mr. Free. You better watch your mouth, sir. Sir, sir. We're not trying to put Arlington, Texas, Houston. We're not doing that, sir. We're not going to participate in that. No, we're not going to do that. Jesus.
No, you gonna World. They got the bigger stadium.
You know what? I might have to come back tomorrow and talk shit. I would have came back today, but it's throwback. I might have to come back tomorrow morning and get that conversation going. That's right there though. That's a dangerous
Yeah.
fight.
But I think another fight that can be on that level. Once again, if the rumors are true, I'm not even going to talk about because I already found out that the rumors are not true. That fight is probably is 90% chance of not happening. So I'm not even going to talk about that one. But um, I think I don't think it's on quite on the level of a Aaron Barkley versus Roberto Duran, but I still think it's a very good fight, and it it has the same level of intensity and danger, and that's David Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. I think
Mm.
Anthony. I think Anthony Yard is going to come out there to fight. I've never seen Anthony Yard lay down for anybody. I think he's going to come out there to fight, and he is a big puncher. Same with David Benavidez. David Benavidez ain't going to lay down for anybody, and he's a big puncher as well. But I think it still has the same intensity and the same danger that was in the fight with Aaron Barkley versus Roberto Duran.
Um, when you go back to that fight, which I watched it last say, those guys back, and not taking nothing away from the guys today, but those guys, not just Aaron and him, some guys back then were so dangerous. And you look at it and you go, if you took some of them guys from back then and put them in today, y'all wouldn't. I mean, love to call people ducks, but do you know how popular that word duck would really be if you took some of them guys, or even if you took some of the guys today and put them back in that? You know how a lot of y'all use the word duck, but y'all really don't. You can't call every situation a duck. Like you always. I wouldn't call that a duck. Every is not a duck situation, but I have a feeling if you took guys like Aaron Barkley, ran even at Roberto's, we're not just talking about the young. Even at 37, he'd have been kicking ass. Like, can you imagine how they took that fight from that Fort Rowley? Can you imagine the situation with Rowley?
Roberto Duran in a fight with Rolly.
Can you see how they took that? I believe they took that win away from that old man that Rowley fought. Can you imagine if Roberto Duran in that situation with Rowley?
It would have never got to the situation where they took the fight from him.
Exactly my point.
It would have never got to that.
Just little me, what's up? Salute, welcome. But this is what I'm saying. So a lot of them guys, we hear it a lot, but we use the word duck, and I'm like, man, listen, shit, duck is. You take some of these guys from the 80s and 90s, and y'all think y'all going to work, duck around. But yeah, so damn, you named a lot of fights. You named a lot of fights that might live up to a Roberto and Barkley. And I didn't even think about the Anthony Yarde Benavidez. See, we so stuck on all this other stuff. You had to just remind me that they was fighting. I forgot for a split second because we've been into everything else.
That's because I don't focus on one single fight. I mean, I look at the fights that's coming up, and I look at all of the fights that's coming up. I don't just focus on one single fight. See, a lot of people they hear of a big fight and they just want to talk about that fight, but we got other good fights that's happening along the way. And a big fight, you got a big fight is a fight that everybody is looking to see or whatever. But there's only so much you can talk about with that fight. You're gonna start repeating yourself. You talk about it every day for the next 2 or 3 months. You're gonna start repeating yourself, saying the same thing that you said. Like I get the same question every time we talk about Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. We talk about Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford yesterday. Who you got in the fight? And I said, oh, I'm leaning towards Canelo Alvarez, and I give my take on why I'm leaning towards Canelo Alvarez. And the next day, somebody else talking about Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. Who you got in the fight? And I say the same thing. Then the next time, somebody else. No, I'm saying the same thing. I know y'all heard me say it before. That's why y'all asked me who I got on it. y'all go to some of the same channels I go to. I know y'all heard me say it before. Why
This is
y'all keep asking?
you know
Y'all
what's
could
so
just skip me
crazy?
on that question.
This
Just
is
skip
why I
me.
don't like to get involved in conversations, right? Since probably since announced, or maybe even before that fight was announced, we had talked about it so much for months, for months, for months. And people go, I don't hear you. I said, I'm waiting until we get close to the fight. Why? For the same simple reason that you just said, that we'll spend months, rather if it's your channel or rather if it's 10 other channels, and you saying the same thing, and you like, yo, y'all be on the same channels as me. So if or if I'm live, don't ask me who I'm going. You know who I'm going for. We just went through this shit. So when the fight week
Well,
come, free is fight week. Going for
especially when I go to the same channel and they talking about the same subject, or they bring up that subject again, and then they ask me, I'm like, no, I just told you this a couple of days ago. You know who
days
I'm
ago.
going
You
for.
told them that a couple, 2, 3 months ago. We've been talking about this like 3, 4 months. Y'all have the same
Well, no,
question. It's like they be
I
trying to.
know.
You know what? It's like free. They try to catch you in the moment, hoping that you change your mind. Not to say you'll do it, so they can go back because everybody likes to go back. Go back to that video. You said this and you said that. Now you change your mind. Nah, you ain't gonna get me. People be trying to bait into saying shit. Like you can't bait me.
And if I do change up, I will give the reason why I changed up. Because I was like I said when I was talking about Brian Norman and Devin Haney. I originally said I believe Devin Haney gonna get knocked out by Brian Norman, but then I just recently changed my opinion and I said, you know what? I think Devin Haney might outbox him. I think that
Yeah.
because Brian Norman hasn't been in a ring with a guy that can move like Devin Haney. Devin Haney has the ability to be able to move around the ring and not get hit if he chooses not to. And I don't. And Brian Norman hasn't been in the ring with somebody with the movement like Devin Haney. So Devin Haney could very well outbox Brian Norman. Devin Haney is the more experienced guy. So I did. I mean, I would give the reason why I changed up. I don't just change up. I say, oh, I got Canelo winning, and then the next time you ask me, oh, I got Bud Crawford winning. Hold on, didn't you just say you had Canelo winning? Why? What happened now? You changed up?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna give you the reason why I changed up. I don't never just leave it the way I just give you a one word answer and leave it like that. No, I give you the reason. So I mean, it is what it is.
You know what? It's gonna be, and I'm glad to actually see it happen. And this is why I said we got to get in tune to what's going on instead of you guys sticking to one guy every day. We all know who that guy is, and that shit is super annoying. It kind of, and I always say this for you, it takes away from what's happening in boxing. Look at for the rest of this year. I got no complaints. Even with this, when I just found out, because I can Tim Zoo possibly be an opponent for Earl, but then the price just went up. The price just, if you telling me we could possibly see Earl Spence versus Jamel Charlo, something that we thought we wasn't going to see, the price just went up. Because I'm telling you, if they happen to make that next year and they happen to just to make it in Jerry's world, Free, I know for sure, Free, and you stop me if I'm wrong. I know for sure, Free, your ass is going to SeatGeek to get you a ticket, and your ass is going to Texas.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it definitely. I'm definitely gonna look into it and see
I know for sure D Free is going to
what the price
Texas.
is like. But I think I heard people like, oh, why they forcing the two black guys to fight each other? I said it's
Oh,
ain't nobody forcing nobody to do anything. Oh, but people were talking about they didn't want to see Earl Spence. They wanted him to retire, but now they want to see him fight Jamel Charlo. I said because y'all gotta look at the situation. They didn't want to see Earl Spence coming off a 2 year layoff fighting these younger guys that's been active. But now they talking about Earl Spence versus Jamel. They both had their last fight in 2023. Jamel
the
fought a
Canelo fight
couple of months.
was the Canelo fight in 20. Canelo fight was in
Yeah,
2023, right?
yeah,
So they
it was
both. So I
2023.
don't understand what the problem is. When he fought
No, see,
Canelo, wasn't
that's
that
the thing. That's the
huh?
thing. People not looking at that. They looking at, oh, people said they didn't want to see Earl Spence, but now they want to see him fight Jamel. Well, you're not looking at the fact that, like I said, they didn't want to see Earl Spence coming off a 2 year layoff, getting in the ring with these younger guys that's been active.
See, well, no, number one, I hate to spoil everybody's feelings, but nobody cares about what you or what you want to see. Half of y'all probably can't even tell me when the last time you saw Jamel fight. Oh, I know when Jamel fought. He fought Canelo. Okay, but when? What date? Give me a date. Nobody cares who's for his fault. Nobody's forcing. This is what kills me, Free. They, why are they forcing these two black men to fight? Well, isn't Brian Norman and Devin fighting? What's wrong with that? See, it's favoritism in this shit. I'll be picking and choosing who y'all want to see. Aren't they black men? So what is y'all like talking about?
See, a lot of people don't put all of their tangibles together and say, oh, you know what? It does make sense. Both these guys coming off a long layoff, they fought around the same time, which was their last fight, and they're both returning back to the ring at the same time against each other. Now, if Earl Spence was coming back fighting Jesus Ramos and Jamel Charlo was coming back fighting um, Virgil Ortiz, you'd be like, I don't know if I really want to see that because neither one of these guys had a tune up. They coming off a 2 year layoff. They probably gonna get beat up. That's what you would normally think because these guys coming off a 2 year layoff and these other guys have been active. So
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really make sense for them to get in the ring with these guys. But now you're talking about two guys who literally coming off a 2 year layoff, roughly around the same time, same amount of time being out of the ring.
2 months, mind you, Free. Mind you, Free, 2 months apart. 2 months apart. So a lot of y'all don't be knowing what y'all talking about. It's 2 months apart. No. Now, Free, my question is, before we go to the Duran and Barkley, before we just go back to that, my question is, Is Jamel still being trained by James? Got to come back up. Something happened. He must have got a call. All right. Good morning. All right. There you go. Keep, are you there? There, free? You can hear me?
Repeat the question. I didn't hear
Well,
you.
I
I had
said
got
the
a phone
question
call.
is Jamel still being trained by James?
No.
So have Derrick James. Well, we know
No.
Earl don't. Damn.
Yeah. Neither one of them was with Dirk
Let me
James.
ask you something. Does this make the does it? Well, I know coming from Earl here, his relationship got dismantled, and I don't know what happened with Mel and Derek. I don't know what happened. Does it make it easier? Does it make it easier to see this fight now? Because people before was like, we never want to see that. They have the same trainer, they brothers, they friends. Never happened. Does it make it a little easier? Not to make the fight, but to watch it now, knowing that Derek is not in neither one of their corners.
Um, you can say that. Me personally, I wanted to see it regardless because I knew where Dirk James was going to be at if it came down to it, and these guys was facing each other. Dirk James was going to be with Earl Spence. That was his guy from the amateurs.
Yeah,
Uh, Jamel came over there later after he has already been a pro, and he was working with Ronnie Shields.
Bobby Chills. Yeah,
So he came later. It's the same as if Derek James was still training AJ, and then all of a sudden he started training Wilder, and AJ and Wilder decided to fight. Well, Derek James is probably 9 times out of 10 going to be with AJ. He was with AJ first
yeah,
before he got with Wilder. So it's the same thing like Bomac, Bud Crawford, and Stone Cold. If they was to fight at 68, Bomac is going to be with Bud Crawford. He's been with Bud Crawford longer.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Ain't no doubt about that. Ain't
Yeah.
no doubt about
So
that.
it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, they trained by the same guy, but the trainer is going to be it's going to be one of two things. The trainer is either going to be with the guy that he's been with the longest, or he's not going to be in neither one of their corners. It's going to be one of the
Oh yeah,
two.
because the choice. I'm sitting this one out.
Yeah. It's going to be one of the two. But I mean, it could make it easier for some of the people. Like I said, me personally, I wanted to see it regardless. I think it's a interesting fight. There's tangibles that you can say this person win or that person win on either side. So it's a fight where it comes down to who you believe is going to take the fight to the other person. Me personally, I think Earl Spence has more heart than Jamel Charlo. I think Earl Spence is a little more hungrier
Yeah.
when they get inside the ring. I think Jamel Charlo he he has those moments where it doesn't really matter to him. It seems like it doesn't really matter to him when he's inside the ring. You go back and you look at the Canelo Alvarez fight. It didn't. It seemed like it didn't matter whether he won or not. You go back to the first Brian Castano fight. It looked like it didn't matter whether he won or not. Um, he just got comfortable of not getting knocked out or not getting hurt in the fight. And so with Earl, Earl is going to go in there and lay everything on the line, regardless of the outcome. He's going to try to win the fight. So I would lean towards.
Yeah. Um, I'm like you. Hey man, I just wanna see it too. It's been long awaited. I'm damn sure gonna come back tomorrow to touch more on it. Even though I just talked about him Zoo, but this is official. I mean, it's not official, but they're talking, so hopefully it happens. Um, when you look at Aaron Barkley and you look at somebody like Roberto Duran, for them, they were some bad dudes in their time. If you were to take them and put them around guys today, put them in the guys today, what do you see them doing? BBR, see you. What up? Everybody go
At,
subscribe
at,
to BBO
at,
Sports TV.
at what weight for each respectable guy?
The weight. I don't know. That's a good question. 78 Sports. I see you. Um, I don't know. He was middleweight, so I don't know. I don't know. But I know they will be doing some damage. That I do know. I can't think of the
Yeah,
weight.
I think right now, if they was fighting at middleweight,
Yeah,
because middleweight right now is so light as far as talent wise, I think they would probably be at the top of the division. I think they would probably be at the top of the division because there's not a lot of talent at 160 right now. I mean, there's a few guys that you can name, and even with those few guys that you name, they still are limited in their boxing ability and their
yeah,
style. So I think that if they was fighting at middleweight, I think both of those guys can be at the top of the division. With Roberto Duran, without a doubt, at 135, I think Roberto Duran will probably be the number one guy at that weight class. Now there's some people that can probably give him a run for his money, but with
yeah,
Roberto Duran, with his style and his determination, I think he makes it hard for everybody at 135 right now.
yeah. Because even watching them, like I said, watching them yesterday, and I'm looking at Duran, and I'm like, damn, this dude is damn near 40 years. He was damn near 40 at the time, and just being able to go in there and do what he did, Aaron, who was pretty much in his prime, 28 years old, and I'm like, man, they both made it a classic, and it was memorable, and I'm like, today they couldn't do that. The dudes couldn't do that with them today because it was just something about it. It was something different about the fighters back then. A lot of them wanted it more, and it's not to say none of the guys today wanted more. At what they have to go through, you look at somebody like David Benavidez. He wants it more. He wants it. There's certain guys that actually want it, but what can nobody's willing to be your dance partner?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not much that you can do. Um, if the guys are not willing to get in the ring, the only thing you can do is do your part in trying to make fights. I mean, the guys that are willing to get in the ring, you go out there and you handle your business. But if the guys not willing to get in the ring, they're not willing to get in the ring. You can't force anybody to get in the ring. Even if they mandate the fight, they still can't force a person to get in the ring.
No,
They,
and
you know what I'm
these
saying? Either you get in the
that we
ring
have to
or
talk
or you gonna be losing out on something.
yeah, that we have to keep talking to every day. They don't understand that because the first go to is he's a duck, this and that, the third. You can't make him do anything. Um, do you go? Why is he? You just can't. And I always tell them, free. It doesn't matter. You cannot make these guys do anything, and that's why we have a choice of supporting who it is that we want to support. We're not going to come out our bullshit and then go up on the live and complain about bullshit when we knew it was bullshit from the jump. Like the shit, like the shit
Um,
for November 15th, 14th, whatever that. I'm like, you think I'm gonna sit up here for 4 or 5 hours talking about that bullshit? I'm not doing it. It's just certain shit that I'm not gonna entertain because You look at old boy, and then you look at the people division. Even though he not giving, I don't know if the rematch happens or not. I'm not concerned with it about it no more. But then I look at
And,
everybody else and I go, okay, if you're not being
and see, that's
entertained by everybody that's in your division, if you're not being entertained by everybody that's in your division, if you're sitting there saying there's nothing left for me to do, I'm not possibly thinking about going up to 40. Now I understand it's a money grab, free. A lot of this shit is a money grab. I get it. But then free, we look at shit and we go, this is the big show versus
that's a
fucking
problem.
this this is the big
That's
show
the
versus
problem
fucking
I have with a lot of people though. This is the problem I
yeah.
have with a lot of people that say they don't like to fight. Well, if you don't like to fight, why are you spending time to talk about it?
This is what
You
I'm
you
saying.
you talking about the fight and trying to put the fight down is bringing more eyes to the fight.
They
You
don't
saying you
understand
don't
that,
like the
free.
fight, but you literally doing a live about the fight that you don't like, which is drawing more eyes, especially if you are a channel that has 20,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers or even 5,000 subscribers or 3,000 subscribers. If you a channel that got a lot of subscribers and you're doing a live about a fight that you don't like, well, your subscribers might not have known about that fight. The ones that didn't know, now they know, and they're gonna look. They was fighting. I actually like both of those guys. Let me go watch it. You bringing more eyes to the fight.
Yeah. And that's
What's going on,
just
Greg?
and I don't want people to understand something. That's not just this fight. It's a lot of fights that y'all go out your way to complain about the fight or the fight, but y'all making the shit more popular than what it is. Because now people go, like you said, I didn't know that was happening. And if you're so bothered by it, why are we up here every day talking about it? Because I'm gonna tell you some shit that me, it's not worth me talking about. You can't even question me and ask me how I feel about it. The first thing I'm gonna tell you is that I don't feel anything. It ain't nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
It's nothing
like
to
I
talk
said,
about. Why would I sit up here and waste my time when I could pay respects to throwback fighters like this? Like we're coming back later on today 5 to talk about Michael Nunn versus James Toney, but y'all don't want to hear that. Talking about these guys. Who are they?
yeah. And see that I'm one of the ones that tell you if there's a fight that I don't like or I don't want to see, I'm not watching it. I have no problem
Yeah.
telling you I'm not watching it, I'm not buying it, I'm not doing nothing because that's not something that I want to see. But I mean, you have other people. Oh, I don't like to fight. I'm gonna watch it though. Well, I don't like to fight. Well, if you don't like to fight, why are you gonna waste your time to watch it?
So they could be up here on these panels and channels arguing
Yeah,
and debating. That's why nobody wants to miss out because they want to be a part. They want to have something to come up and talk about. Motherfuckers will watch a highlight, just be able to say, "I saw something," and I'm like, all you think you looked at was a highlight, or you think it's
like
a
I said,
highlight.
like I tell you, I don't. If there's a fight that we're talking about, and I don't know nothing about the fight because I didn't watch it, I would first of all I would tell you I didn't watch the fight, and second of all, my opinion is going to be based off what y'all are talking about with the fight. And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't see it, but based on what y'all saying, this is how I feel. Based off of what you're telling me, I feel this. It happened because of this. It happened because of that, or it could have been because of this. It could have been because of that. But
Yeah,
I'm going
I
based off of what you were talking about, not what I seen. Because I'm telling you, I didn't see it.
I never try to participate in stuff, and then if I don't, like you said, if I don't know what's going on, I go, you know what? Before I can, there's plenty of fights that came up that I didn't see that y'all might have talked about, and I'm like, well, I can't participate on the conversation. I need to go back and watch it, and then if we just so happen to be on another panel, we bring it up, then I voice my opinion or what I might have thought about it, rather if it was entertaining or not. But these cats don't do that. Y'all waste time talking about shit that don't entertain y'all.
Like
But you,
like I told B up the other day when I was on his platform. I said so many people say that they don't want this fight or they don't like that fight or they don't like that fight, but they still go out and buy it. And as long as y'all as fans are continuing to buy things that you don't like, they're gonna keep giving it to you. They're gonna keep giving it to you. It is what it is. So when you if you go to a store and they don't have none of the clothes that you want, but you still end up buying clothes, they're not gonna go out and purchase the type of clothes that you actually want. They're gonna continue filling their racks up with the stuff that you just bought because they're like, well, they buying it, so let's keep bringing it in here. They still
I
buying it.
never walk into a store where I complain about what's in there, but then still buy. I'm getting out that store, and they ain't got nothing in here that I want. I'm out of here. I'm not walking and complaining about their store, but then I'm holding their merch. I'm holding their stuff in my bag that I just spent. That's what y'all doing right now. Y'all walking. That's what literally. Hey, free. Literally, that's what they doing on YouTube now. Y'all are walking into stores complaining about what they selling, but y'all actually still buying. Walking out the store, getting in your car, how trash the damn store is, how horrible they clothes, or how horrible the store smells. Meanwhile, just probably spent $100 on some shit in their store, but you talking crazy.
Right. Like I literally will go to the mall if I'm looking for a pair of shoes. I will walk in about three or four shoe stores before I purchase the shoes that I'm looking for because if the other three shoe stores don't have it, I'm not just buying shoes just because I see other shoes and I'm looking for a specific pair of shoes. And I'm gonna go to every shoe store until I find the shoes that I'm looking for. I'm not gonna
Like,
just buy a shoe. Oh, I went into this shoe store. They don't got what I like, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy these ones. No,
like,
I'm gonna go shop around and see if
like
I can find what I'm looking for.
I can't walk in a restaurant and complain about this and that and the third, but I'm still sitting there like after a while. I'm like, hell no. I'm I'm I'm,
Right.
in, I'm getting the hell out of here. Or
Yeah.
it takes too long for service in here. I'm gonna complain about how long it takes, but I'm standing here waiting. They tell me it's a
It don't make
45
sense.
minute wait. They tell me it's a 45-minute wait, but I'm standing here still complaining and shit when I could have just left. But I'm gonna stay here though because I want their food. I'm not finna stand there and do that. And that's
Not
literally what y'all are doing. Y'all are walking into stores, walking into restaurants. Literally, that's what on this YouTube shit and complaining, but still purchasing it.
right.
You know what, free? It's not boxing that's messed up much. Because I always say fighters are going to make whatever decision that's best for them and their family. It's y'all on here. That's the problem. What you're doing is when people are walking on these channels and they don't know what's going on in boxing, y'all got them hella confused and y'all got them thinking whatever y'all talking about is actually
Right.
now them same people who think it's real. Guess what they do, free? They channels with the bullshit.
Yeah.
Just left this channel and such confirmed it. Confirmed. There's nobody on no channel that can confirm any fucking thing unless they're in that circle. We sit back and we sit to be confirmed by the people who's in that circle or somebody who know that fighter, rather we like them or not. So a lot of people talking about it's confirmed already. They in talks. How you know that? Yo, free. How do they know that, free? How do they know people be? Because that's the shit now. Yeah, they're in talks. They negotiating. Says who? Who told you that? Should be crazy with y'all.
The problem is people are so quick to believe everything they hear instead of just sitting back and say, if you don't know, just sit back and I don't know how they do. I don't know how this fight came about. I mean, like somebody said, oh, well, this is how the fight are made in the sport of boxing. So you just going to run with a person's word who never fought in the sport of boxing. You just gonna run with that. A person that never fought in the sport of boxing, never did any business in the sport of boxing, and they tell you this is how fights are made, you just gonna run. I'm not saying that they wrong, but you just running with that instead of trying to find out if that is really true. A lot of people would just run with whatever they hear because you're following this channel or you following that channel, and that's what he said. So you just believe everything that that person said instead of just doing your own research and finding out, hey, how are these fights are actually being made? You're just gonna believe whatever somebody tells you. And like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not saying that the person is telling you anything wrong, but that doesn't mean everything that he says out of his mouth is absolutely true. You can't
Um.
just because he's not lying about that situation doesn't mean he doesn't lie about something else or exaggerate something else. You can't just take what somebody says and run with
No.
it because
Like I wait for people like if it's Fight Hype or Fight Hub. Sometimes I listen to Dante's boxing, no matter how people feel about him. There's certain people I listen. I can get that, and I go, "Oh, it's confirmed." And then I might start reading about something, and once I start seeing it, I'm like, "Okay." Sitting and just listening to people, and I go, "Well, how you know that's confirmed?" Oh, I was at
like
this channel. I was at this channel, and they said it. Oh, man, get the hell out of here with that, bro.
see, that it's one thing if you use a channel as a form of resource, but that can't be your only form of resource. You got to
No,
have other resources as well. And if they all line up, then you could say, okay, this is 9 times out of 10, this is probably true because they all basically saying the same thing.
it's
So,
like it's
but
like going, it's like
if you just go,
it's like back in the days when you was going to school. You couldn't always believe that he she say. You couldn't always believe it because it put you in a situation where such and such told me this and such said this that when they see you, it was confirmed that they was gonna punch you in your face, and then come to find out nobody ever.
yeah, right. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't, like I said, if you only going with one form of resources, I mean, you probably only going to be right maybe 15 or 20% of the time because that resource is limited. It's limited to whatever he knows. If he don't know, you ain't gonna know anything. Or if he doesn't get any information, you ain't gonna know about the situation. So you gotta have other forms of resources. You can't just have one form of resource and believe, okay, well everything he said is accurate. Well, how do you know that? Did you bother to do your own research to find out if what he said is true, or you just gonna run with it because he was right about one other situation? Well, he was right about this fight, so he's right about all fights. No, he was right
Yeah,
about that fight, and that was
yeah.
the only fight that you could say that he was right about.
Nobody wants to take the time to understand how this works. Like I say every day, y'all are just so quick to get on here and assume. Some of y'all can't yourselves talks. And this is why Thursdays are so important where we have these throwback talks. Because not just because we're giving our legends their flowers, it's because today's boxing conversations are boring. And it ain't the fighters boring, it's you guys are making the conversation. Like I said the other day, how people have walked away from YouTube from talking about boxing because of y'all. So to keep things interesting, it's important to have days like Throwback Thursday, which I'm going to change the name. Throwback is cool, but I'm going to change the name in a second. I got some other things I came up. But when you're talking about the Aaron Barkley, the Duran, or whatever old school, like I said, we're coming back later on today to talk about Michael Nunn, James Tony. How many of y'all took the time to watch that? Which it was just as good as this fight, and that was a middleweight fight.
Yeah,
No, we don't want to talk about that, man. We don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about about why Tank is not giving Lamar Roach a rematch, man. I don't want to hear that shit. Go ask him. Better yet, go ask Coach Calvin. Go ask Coach Kenny.
We want to talk about why Tank is not giving him a rematch, but don't none of us know Tank to know why.
I don't think
None of us know Tank know why he's not giving him a rematch, but we all got a reason why he didn't give him a rematch.
Tank is the type of person he's gonna wants to do. We don't know where his mind is at. We don't know. Tank seemed like to be that one guy that come joke with you one day outside, and the next gonna mean mug you, and you be like,
That's
he was
what
just outside joking yesterday.
that's what I told BBO yesterday. He asked, what do we believe is next for Tank?" I like, well, Tank is an individual. He moves to the beat of his own drum. So you
Yeah,
just got to sit back and see what he does next. Nobody can say what he's going to do next unless you're a part of his inner circle. Nobody knows what he's going to do next. We gotta sit
like
back and just wait to see what happens, because you can believe he's going to do this, you can believe he's going to do that. He done proved people wrong multiple times throughout his career. So you never know what he's going to do. You can have a
I'm
good
fine.
guess. That's about it. You can have a good guess, but nobody knows what he's going to do until he does
I'm
it.
I'm let me tell you something. Mine was God would never see certain fighters again. I'm okay with certain, but not seeing certain. If there's somebody that says, "Yo, today is it for me," and I'm okay with it because some did just enough in the sport where they can exit out, and then that's holding up the sport or holding up the division, and I'll be like, "Well, you can leave anyway. If I ever see you again anyway, don't matter to me. Bye." I'm
Hold
at
on one
that.
second.
Yeah. Good morning, y'all. Good morning to everybody on here. Newcomers, welcome to the No Doug Zone podcast. It's not the morning chop up today. It's Throwback Thursday. You know, we were speaking on Aaron Barkley versus Roberto Duran. Went down, I believe it was that May 10th of 1980. I don't have the date mistaken. I hope I didn't because I had looked it up. It was a classic fight. Um, 12 rounds of just. If anybody has not went back to look at it, I'm not talking about people that's been watching boxing for years, but some of you that may not be familiar with it, Aaron Barkley versus Roberto Duran. It was definitely a classic. Um, Roberto being 37, Aaron Barkley being 28 years old. It was magical. Uh, I don't know if the results, Roberto won. Do I agree? It was something about it, but it didn't matter. It was a classic fight. It was magical, and we have middleweight fights. Well, we got super middleweight, I believe. Come, we're trying to make a comparison of will we get a fight? Any of the middleweight fights is coming up, or any of the fights, not just middleweight. Any of the fights, can we get that? Can we get a Mickey Ward versus the Arturo Gatti? Can we get any wars like that in boxing? Wars. Eric Morales and Antonio Barrera. Like, you know what I mean? Can we get any of that? We want to see wars in boxing. We don't want to see wars on YouTube where people arguing back and forth in channels that some of y'all ain't never even been in the ring, let alone put on gloves or trained. We want to see wars in boxing, and there's a lot that's coming up. And there's a lot that we have got this year. We have got a lot of wars this year. We can't say we didn't. We got a lot of wars this year. Or should I say a lot of good fights. But I think at the end of this year, we're going to get some wars. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Got a new subscriber, 644. Appreciate it. Let's get it up to 700, y'all. Or let's get it up 650, and then we'll move to 700 from there. So these throwback talks, when we speak in boxing, these throwback talks is very important to have. So if people don't understand why we do these throwback talks on Thursdays, it's not also to give these fighters their flowers, but to just take a break of what's going on today. Because right now, ain't nothing going on in boxing today as far as conversation, but a lot of gossiping. So that's why. Y'all come back and join me this afternoon. I'm telling y'all, great. Because we're coming back this afternoon to talk about Michael Nunn versus James Toney. This is what we're doing on Thursdays. Take a break from what's actually going on with everything else. Because to have the same boxing conversations Monday, Saturday, Sunday, y'all are boring. Y'all are boring. I hate to say it. I got love for some of y'all, man, but y'all are boring. You're boring. You're killing me. So you make sure y'all go check out Roberto Duran. Okay, wait a minute. Oh no, I don't need that. See up here? Oh, what did I just do? Hold on, freeze on my screen. I don't know how. Well, I don't know how I could get them up. Get them off. Give me a second, y'all. I don't even know how he popped. Oh yeah, I don't even know why this just happened. Just can't seem to get him off the screen. On my screen. Let me see. Is he on my back picture? Let me see. No, I don't see him on my back picture. For some reason, he's in the front of this one. I guess he'll come back on. Hold on. Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, y'all, I'll be back. But if you think about it, where would Roberto Duran and Ivan Barkley, where would they be ranked today? Like Free said, there's not much going on at 60. But where would they be? And they probably would be they probably would have had to have energy because nobody else, I couldn't see Duran moving to 68. Maybe Barkley would, and they would have to go up there and deal with, well, what's up there? What's going on at 68? They would deal with it. Duran being at the end of his career, but Barkley being 28, moving up to 68. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got Shiraz, you got Belinga, which that would be crazy. I don't know if I want to see that versus the Bronx. BX, we're gonna come out of that one. As far as everybody else is up there, Amron Barkley would definitely be a threat to the sport, to the division. And a lot of guys wouldn't want smoke with him. But also, Duran wasn't nothing to play with neither, even in the smaller weight classes. But if you take those guys today, you put them in with everybody today, you're going to get a different outcome. I appreciate everybody that came in today too, man. Appreciate y'all so very much. I really do. I'm telling you, without y'all wouldn't make it possible for me to go live. Even though I might say some crazy stuff that y'all be like, what is he talking about? That's just, hey man, that's me. Me, I gotta speak my piece or don't say anything at all. And our job as content creators to come up here and to be quiet. Jobs is to come and speak our piece, rather if people agree with it or not. So don't think for one time that you have to come up here and say that you think is going to make people feel good. No, you're up here to speak your mind, and that's what you will do. If it's something that you don't like about the sport of boxing or something you don't like about whatever, um, well, I tell you what, when it comes to that, every little thing that bothers us in boxing doesn't be addressed because there's certain things that we can't make room to care for because a lot of things that's happening serves no purpose and we're not going to get anywhere talking about it. That's that like button, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Appreciate y'all with the likes. Y'all real good today on the likes. Let's keep it going though. So, like Free said, certain things you don't go into a store, a Foot Locker, Champs, or you go into any type of clothing or sneaker store, complain about what they got in there, their clothing and their sneakers, and then turn around and walk out of their store too with stuff, still complaining. Where they do that at? You talk at a restaurant sucks. They service and all that, whatever it is, but you're walking out with food. They tell you it's a 45-minute wait, but you're gonna wait the whole 45 minutes complaining, complain about how long it takes for you to get your food. Then you want some takeout food. And on the way home, you're still complaining. Do we understand what we're doing and how we sound when we're doing these things? It sounds crazy. Right? It doesn't make any sense. So when I have these throwback fights, I'm always gonna do it to pay these guys their respect. And rather if they're deceased, still here, I try to give a lot of them their flowers while they are still here. While they are still here. But even for the ones that's not here, I'm always going to continue to do it because right now it ain't nothing going on in boxing. I mean, stuff going on, but far as when we're trying to get to what's going on and we want to talk about some other stuff that might not be mentioned, well, nobody really cares for that. Nobody really wants to talk about that. Popularity versus the truth, and I'll always just want to go with what's popular. When the truth is, we want to see wars in boxing. Y'all want to see the best fight the best. I don't want to. I want to see wars in boxing. That's what separates me from y'all. Everybody talks this. I want to see the best fight the best. Top guys, yeah, that shit sound good. I want wars in boxing. Wars. No matter who it is. I want to see a war. That's what I'm looking for. And that's why I don't never pick who I want to win a fight. I don't do it anymore. It makes no sense. But I don't think my brother D Freeze coming back. But I'll be back later on today at 6:05, like I said, to talk some more throwback boxing. Michael Nunn versus James Toney. I'll be back here at 5. I don't need to stay here 2 hours, y'all, because I want to sit back with my beautiful wife and watch some TV. And I need to go watch Michael Nunn and James Toney. Like I said, a lot of these fights I glanced at. I don't ever really sit and watch a lot of them, but it's cool. I'll sit and watch this. And like I said, shout outs to Roberto Duran and Barkley, who are both still alive today, who can still take pictures together. go to all these different events and still see each other. It was a magical fight from 1 to 12. I like every round. Forget all that scoring, but we score the fight, man. I don't care about all that shit. It doesn't even matter at this point. It was great. It was a great, great, great fight. And let's hope we get wars like that. Let's hope some of these fights that's coming up that's signed. Let's hope we can get those wars. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for always supporting and always rocking with me every morning. Rather morning chop up, or rather if it's boxing, man. I love y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to my brother D always coming and rocking with me. Love y'all. And shout out to all the rest of y'all, man. Old subscribers, new subscribers, and soon to be subscribers. Love y'all. I know what it is. It's the No Doug Zone podcast. Let's go.